Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HCW podcast with myself, Frozzy, and Rate Wrestle. We are going to be reviewing this week WWE Friday Night Smackdown, WWE Monday Night Raw, and AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. Stay tuned. It's coming up now. Roll intro.
HCW Reviews.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. So, I am Frozzy, as I said in the intro, and my good friend Rate Wrestle is with us. We will be reviewing all the good stuff this week. How are you doing, Ray?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I think I do this every video of trying to adjust myself so I'm in the middle of the set.
I was going to say, we've literally been on for about 15 minutes and you've not done any of this until now.
Yeah, I like to get the behind the scenes stuff on camera, so it's not behind the scenes. But yeah, no, I'm doing pretty alright. Yeah, to the camera. Oh, it's going terribly. How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing better than you and your camera, it seems. But yeah, no, nice 2 days off coming up now. A few things going on, but yeah, apart from that, all good. That did not look good when you put your finger there. It was like pure white. It like proper flashed in my eye. I was like, whoa. But no, apart from that, all good. Just looking forward to getting into this week's wrestling and seeing what's coming up because Elimination Chamber is not far away now. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you want to kick us off, are you done with all your camera edits?
I don't care as much anymore.
No, dive straight into Smackdown for us then, right?
So yeah, Smackdown started off with they couldn't confirm if where Jay was basically. That was the general gist of it. Jay Uso is MIA due to obviously what happened on the Royal Rumble recently. And then we followed up with Braun and Shea versus Imperium in the final of that tag team tournament. So obviously they went with the right decision and had Imperium win the match. Oh wait, no, they had the Franken team randomly Braun and Ricochet win. I read it 2 3/4. It was a good match. It's just stupid. I hate Franken teams facing like a team that's been together for that long and are that good, and then lose to Braun and Shea.
Yeah,
just a bad decision.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, this is still annoying me. I'm sorry. There we go. Now we're getting on it. Oh, it's because I was proper. There I am. Now I'm kind of full on the screen. Anyway, we had Charlotte next. Then she was discussing backstage that she's got to face Sonya tonight. Then it's going to be her. But then Sonya came in and said, "No, it's going to be me versus Ripley." And I went, "Yeah, Sonya. Yeah, that's happening."
Yeah, good one.
So Freya versus Deville, this was better than I expected. Obviously, it was predictable because there was no chance in hell that Sonya Deville was winning this match. But she did put on a good fight, and then Flair ended up picking up the win with the figure 8. As I said, 2 3/4. It was as good as the tag match. We go to the more important stuff of the night, so the Bloodline. Roman Reigns was in the hot seat, and then you had Solo and Jimmy sitting next to him. And he was basically going, I've got obligations to fulfill. And then you've got your obligations. Go find out where Jay is. And then he was going like, Jimmy was going like, if Jay ain't speak to me, he hasn't spoke to anyone. But you've got to do this for all of us. So go find him. So Roman sent him on his merry way. So the Bloodline story continues to be the best thing in WWE right now. Next up, we had the Brutes versus the Vikings. Once again, 2 3/4, just good, but not like over the top. Good offense from both of them, and there was like a brawl at the end between McIntyre and Sheamus and the Viking Raiders for a receipt of them battering them. I don't know where that's leading, I'm going to be honest.
No, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. I don't see what the end game is here, because you'd expect McIntyre and Sheamus to win, but what does that do for the Viking Raiders? It doesn't do anything,
They've already squashed them. Then they returned it with like a beatdown before a match, and now they're going to get squashed again more than likely.
Yeah, when realistically, the way forward should be the Viking Raiders win.
Yeah, you'd think so. But no. Next up, Shotzi versus Natalia versus Vega versus Baszler. I rate this 2 1/4 stars. It was pretty much just a meh 4-way match. And the only reason Natalia's won is because she's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah, that is
reason.
exactly
They
it.
put her there. Like, I like Natalia. I'll be honest, but like, she's just there now. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah,
They're not doing anything with her.
no, she doesn't need a title or anything though. She's a big enough name to where she can put other talent over.
Yeah,
So I don't see why she's won this. But you
because
know,
she's gonna.
well, I do. Yeah, well, we know why she's won it, but I don't see from like a standpoint of stories and stuff like that why it makes sense.
Yeah. And then that was the main event, by the way, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Followed up with the Bloodline. So Roman Reigns comes down, says he's got a lot on his plate. It's his ring. And like Sami was just take from him. He was taking this, taking that, and then out of nowhere, a hooded figure whams him in the back of the head. And it's Sami Zayn pounding a Roman. He grabs the chair. He's about to lay him out, and then Jimmy comes in, super kicks his face off. Solo starts battering him down as well, and then the fans are like losing their minds, thinking Jey Uso's going to come down and save him, and then Roman's going, "Yeah, call for Jey, yeah, happening." Cool. That's where I'm looking for. And then they lay out Sami, and Roman said he's going to fight him in the chamber, and he's going to beat him in front of his friends and his family.
Yeah.
Which I'm very confused with how they're going to do it now, because they've made it really strong that he's going to beat him in front of his friends and family. Normally it's just like the commentators would build that, but Roman said it, I'm going to beat you in friends and family. So that would instantly kill Sami Zayn if he just absolutely wipes the floor with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be hard watching Sami Zayn lose. That's the problem I've got. But we all know that that's the way it's going. So
yeah, it's one of them ones. But also, when we get onto Raw, Sami Zayn's killed Cody Rhodes. Like, no one cares, and they're trying to push. Well, I'll get onto it in a second, because obviously it's going to be there, but it's just, Sami Mania. What they should have done is done what they did with Braun and just introduce him into a triple threat Mania.
Yeah, but then you've had 2 main events for Roman at Mania in a row, triple threat.
And you've had 7 Roman Reigns main events anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it's not all been triple threat, have they?
Yeah, 5 have been singles.
Yeah, but that's the way it should be at Mania. It should be one-on-one with the title.
Sami Zayn, implore him in.
Like, every now and again, yes, triple threat's fine. But if you're having the main title, it's got to be one person against another, and that is it.
I don't know. I think you have to call an audible, because Cody, no one cares.
I think Zayn's that much over that you think no one cares about Cody, but they do. People do care.
Oh, I don't know. Like, Cody's style is fucked to me. That's what it was. Anyway, I'll get to that when we get to Cody.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll go into Raw then.
That was a 7-minute SmackDown review, by the way, and it wasn't really even 7 minutes, because we were speaking at the start and I was messing around with the camera. So we kicked off with Raw. So I thought it was going to kick off with Cody, but it actually kicked off with Edge, Edge and Beth. So by the way, Edge created the Judgment. I don't know if that's been said yet. But that's that's the horse he's dying on. Every time he comes back, I create the Judgment Day, by the way. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Judgment Day come down, and then Edge and Beth challenge them to a mixed tag match, which it had to happen, didn't it? So that's going to be happening at Chamber. But the Judgment say that Chamber's then, this is tonight, they're surrounding, they're about to batter Edge and Phoenix, and here comes Angelo Dawkins to the rescue.
Yeah.
So we have Dawkins versus Priest. I rate this 3 stars, so instantly it was better than anything on SmackDown. It was a good opener. Like, Dawkins is looking good, like physique-wise and everything like that. He's actually putting in work. Priest has just been on a tear, like wrestling-wise, recently. Back and forth match, and he ends up picking up the win with, I think it's called the South of Heaven. I think that's what he picked up the win with.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So Priest is now in the Chamber. Next up, we had Triple M, and now on Raw.
Yes.
And they're going after something big. Otis. There's so much foreshadowing. And then here comes Chelsea Green. Can I speak to your manager? No, can you the manager? Yes, Chelsea, you spoke to me last week. And then, I wanted Swiss chocolate and milk and water and crap in my office. And then Adam Pearce went, no, I did get you Swiss chocolate. He went, no, that's Belgian chocolate. I know the Swiss. I like this Chelsea Green character. I'm going to be honest, it makes me laugh. And then she ends with the good old line, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
So I instantly, I'm in favour of it.
Yeah.
We had Corbin versus Loomis up next. I rate this 1 3/4. It was dull as hell. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Corbin is losing. They're back to bum-ass Corbin, like,
Yeah.
down on his luck Corbin.
Yeah.
Lynch backstage. It's been 10 years since she's been in the company. It's 10 years since she met Byron Saxton, if you know, if that's an important thing. And she's the man. This is how she became the man. But, you know, Becky brought her family into it, and now she's going to beat Becky at the steel cage match.
Yeah.
Lesnar was had an in-ring promo. He just did a few lines about how Bobby Lashley was annoying him, you know, like Bobby who, after he got beaten them, and he was in bed with his wife, and after 2 hours, he was actually like, who Bobby who? Because, you know, Lesnar lasts 2 hours. And Lashley comes down, and Lashley says, I beat you at one of the events, because it was where Lesnar had him, and then he kind of rolled him up. Then he beat me, but then I eliminated you at the Rumble, and I left you lying, so technically I'm in top in this. And then Lashley F5'd him. So fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next page. Pippa Niven versus Laray versus Mella versus Yim. I rate this 3/4 as well. Like, it was actually a lot better than expected. I don't know if it's because the Smackdown one was absolutely bad, the Fatal 4-Way, that this one kind of looked in comparison. But Niven's getting pushed strong in this match, which is good. Everyone looked good. Mella's back. Carmella, you know, we all were waiting to see that. She was a normal crap heel herself, where she was just cowardly, trying to pick up the win really quickly. And eventually she actually did pick up the win with Pippa Niven doing a cannonball. Then she super kicked Pippa Niven out the wing and just kind of picked up the scraps. So we've got a Carmella elimination chamber. It's the women's elimination chamber as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Carmella being in it, or just in general?
Yeah, Carmella being in it, I don't get it.
Because she's she's money.
You've got 3 other people who could probably do with it more than she could.
I don't know. Carmella's money.
No.
But she's money.
Pass.
And she could do the moonwalk. JBL backstage, Texas. He's binning off Corbin because Corbin is a pile of crap, basically.
Yeah.
So JBL's gone now, I'm guessing. And Corbin is back to being bum-ass Corbin.
Yeah, so I suppose this is what they wanted to do, and then he'll get his redemption story at Mania, probably.
Oh, is he going to face JBL?
Probably face Kurt Angle again.
I want to re-retire Kurt Angle. And then Pippa Niven was backstage, and she was about to attack Candice LeRae because she cost her the match, but then Yim kind of stepped in, and then Pippa Niven said, if you cost me like a world championship match again, I'm going to kill you. Was basically the Scottish term of doing it. Yeah. We had the Hurt Business up next, technically. It's still not called the Hurt Business, but it is the Hurt Business of Cedric and Benjamin versus the Alpha Academy. Rated is 2 3/4. It was quick, but it was just a good match.
Yeah.
And it gave Benjamin and Alexander a needed win because they've been suffering wrestling-wise recently. Yeah. So hopefully it kind of pushes MVP and the Hurt Business to get back together. I'm hoping that's how Brock Lesnar loses, because I want the Hurt Business to come back.
Yeah.
But who knows? A segment I really cared about. So the Miz was backstage complaining about the whole Boogs incident, and he was going to speak to the manager. And then Boogs comes out the office, and then Miz goes, how did you get anything before me? And then he was saying that he hates Pierce, and then Boogs was doing stuff because he's Boogs. Then Pierce said, you got another one-on-one match next week with Boogs. And then Boogs started doing hype, and I hate him so much. He's such a poor character. It was like having the Ultimate Warrior around now as a character. Like, that's what it is. Like, you know, like, it's just an awful, like, over-the-top character that does it. It would fit in the 1990s Boogs.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't fit in at all.
Yeah.
Awful decision having that as a character. But fair enough. I don't know where I am now. Green came down for a match because she told Pierce, you better get all the spotlight ready. So she came down the ring. Mystery opponent was Oscar. Green actually battered Oscar for the first 5 minutes of the match, which I was happy about. Not because of a
5 minutes. The match went for 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
Did it?
Yes.
It felt okay. Felt like she got battered for the first minute, 2 minutes. Then there's no way that only went for 2.5 minutes.
There is. Go and check.
I'm going to check now because that's insane.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes. That's incredible. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It felt like it went on for 7 minutes.
That's just more about the match than it should.
Yeah, already 2 stars. But yeah, Green dominated the first minute and a half. I'm going with then. And then Oscar stood up and beat the crap out of her for a minute, and that was the end of the match.
Yeah.
That felt so long. Now we're at Cody. So I'll discuss Cody now. So yeah, Cody was in the ring. He was discussing the whole. He was on about Roman last week, but he should probably bring up Sami Zayn. And he wishes Sami Zayn luck against the Roman, and he'll be happy to fight Zayn at WrestleMania. He kept bringing up the name Zayn continuously about it. And then he's about to leave, and then Heyman comes down. My name's Paul Heyman, blah blah blah. Gets in the ring. And it was kind of a weird respect thing. Cody was mentioning stuff about HCW and how he gave Dusty Rhodes... Everything about Cody Rhodes is Dusty Rhodes. Everything. His character is being Dusty Rhodes' son. And he's just going up you gave my dad the chance to come back and you made the American Dream. Paul Heyman's bringing this segment to the better part of it because he's crying nearly. And then to turn it around, Paul Heyman basically says, you're Dusty Rhodes' son, but Roman Reigns is the son that Dusty Rhodes wanted. And then that turned into Cody Rhodes into less straight-laced Cody Rhodes into an angry Cody Rhodes, as he got really annoyed that someone questioned Dusty Rhodes and his son, and now he's going to beat him at Mania.
Yeah,
I don't know why he wasn't going to beat him at Mania beforehand,
but now he is.
So I just don't get Cody Rhodes. I'm going to get now I'm on topic with it. Cody Rhodes' character is that he was on AEW. That's his character to me. He's Dusty Rhodes' son, and he was on another company.
No, I don't think it's that. I think he's come back to be WWE champion, and this is now what he's doing. I think that was always the thing for Cody Rhodes, and that's the way I look at it. I don't view him as Cody Rhodes AEW. This is Cody Rhodes coming back to do what he wanted to do the first time, but probably now realizes he wasn't good enough, and now he is.
I can't. He's the matches with Seth. He has good matches. Just I can't get behind his character. He's just dull. Even how he speaks, he's just really dull in the ring, and it's just I did this, then I did that, then this, and then Dusty Rhodes, and then it's just that's his whole spiel. I think as I said, I think the culmination of if the Zayn thing happened prior to this, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But because there's such a Zayn pop and everything like that, I feel like anything against Roman except Zayn is minute. And obviously now they're going to squash him at fucking Chamber, and then it's where'd you go from that?
Yeah.
Unless Jay, because obviously Jay's going to be on Smackdown, isn't he?
It's tag title match at Mania, so it's Zayn and Usos. That's where they're going, and that's where they've been going for the last 3 months.
It's just it's just with the Roman story and him attacking Roman and beating down Roman, then suddenly lose the title and then just go, we'll be tag team champions. Just made things like a consolation prize suddenly. He should be. They should have went with he should have been attacking Jimmy or something like that, because then it'll make more sense that he's feuding with and leaving Roman out of it.
Well, maybe Jay's going to come back at Elimination Chamber or whenever.
Well, he's going to be on SmackDown, isn't
he? Yeah, well, he'll beat him up. Yeah, he'll beat him up at the Chamber then, and then cost Zayn the world title, and then that's how you get to your tag match.
That's probably the best way of going about it. It's just going to be a bit lackluster, I feel like.
Yeah, probably, but it's the way it's going to go. So I accepted this months ago. Everyone else is just crying now, and it's should have seen it coming.
Yeah, but it's one of these ones that you should, if something's generically working towards something, as in manifesting on accident, it's probably best to go with it rather than go, this is what we were planning anyway. That's a Vince McMahon move of just going, this is what we're planning. Fuck what the fans are saying.
Well, no, because Vince did do what the fans said and give Daniel Bryan his shot.
That was because it was like Daniel Bryan's run was a lot like Zayn's up there, but Daniel Bryan's run was it was silly. The amount of reaction Daniel Bryan was getting. Like Zayn's up there, but it's not as like the Roman like that. The Daniel Bryan one I'll go with is the Royal Rumble where Mysterio came out as number 30 and everyone thought it was Daniel Bryan, and that Royal Rumble just got absolutely pantsed on then. Because
Mysterio got booed, didn't he? So,
yeah, just absolutely booed out the arena. I nearly went, and that's the end of Raw, but I forgot there's more Raw. So the match of the night had us Ford and Elias. I rated 3.25 stars. So Ford and Angelo are definitely going to split soon because Ford picked up the win, Angelo didn't. I feel like they've got to plant the seed that way. Elias looked good for once, which was decent. Ford was great. He did all the over spot tops. I'm still not a big fan of the lump jumping over the top rope into the corner things. It's very coincidental that the wrestler's there. You can't do it every match. Like to get the wrestler perfectly in the corner behind the turnbuckle. Every match is very coincidental. And he picks up the win, and then Theory kind of does like the total spot where he's like that, mask better, and then Rollins comes out and absolutely obliterates Theory. Theory's just there to be a champion, to be like an absolute jackass.
He
gets beat down so much.
It's like The Miz when The Miz used to win all the time.
Yeah,
like the titles, US title matches. He used to get fucking beat down and beat the piss out of all the time.
And then he'll win the big match. That's all there.
Yeah.
And then we had main event time, which was Bayley versus Lynch. Steel cage match. I rated 2 3/4. It was a bit meh for a steel cage match. Nothing really happened until the end, where Sky and Kai got involved. They're about to kind of help beat down Becky, and then out of nowhere, the most random return in the world. DP Doomus returns, and she tries to climb the cage and stacks it, which is kind of lost the pop instantly for me. And then she hit a twist of fate, which was actually a pretty decent one on the outside. And then Becky ended up picking up the win. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. Is that just Lita's back for this one match, and then, or are they going to do something Elimination Chamber and just have like a random tag match?
No, they're doing damage control against Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus.
Have they announced that?
No, but that is what's happening.
Okay, yeah, I don't read spoilers or anything anymore.
It's in Canada as well, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough.
Get all your Canadians in, but yeah, that's the big rumor that it's going to be 6-woman tag.
Yeah, it has to be this Monday. That'll be because yeah.
He had a little bit of a throwback as well, didn't he? Like Lita and Trish Stratus said that they could take damage control. It was a while ago though.
Yeah, like
so.
The concept of that match sounds good, but that match is not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because Lita's, and Trish. No, it's just gonna be pretty much that Becky Lynch is gonna have to get battered for a majority of that match.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't dislike any of Lita's return matches that she's had, and Trish can still go.
I don't know. It's been like 5 years since Trish's last wrestled, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I can't judge someone can go until I see him in the ring again.
I think it'll be fine.
No, it might be. Fair enough. I didn't expect it at all. But yeah, no, that was the end of Raw. Raw was fine.
Yeah. It was. I was going to say it was better than SmackDown. That was the main takeaway from it. It was better than SmackDown.
4 years Stratus, by the way.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do then is we'll leave WWE alone for another week, and we will crack on with AEW Dynamite from last night or 2 nights ago, if you're seeing this.
Yeah. So it kicked off with MJF versus Takeshita. So banger of a match, rated 3 3/4. MJF. The only reason I wouldn't rate this even higher than this is because Takeshita absolutely obliterated MJF for probably about 75-80% of the match. And MJF was just kicking out of him loads of stuff, and it was kind of like, this is the champion. And I know Takeshita, they're making Takeshita into a super strong wrestler, but like also this is the kind of champion. This is MJF wrestles like once every decade, it seems, as well. And it's just the sight of MJF getting battered. He got him in a few salt of the earth. He kept drenching his arm. He was doing the Roman Reigns kick outs where it was just about kicking out. And then eventually he kind of overwhelmed Takeshita, and he got on the salt of earth a couple of times. Takeshita reached the rope, but then he did the flip salt of the earth, where he's kind of on the other side and Takeshita tapped out. And then MJF just absolutely went ham on Takeshita afterwards, busted him wide open. Brian came down to save him, and MJF pegged it basically. But as usual, AEW kicks off with a great match. Like, there's no doubt about that. This was followed up by not a great match. Bunny versus Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's on fire. Bunny's Bunny. Just a match of nothingness, which was predictable. Jamie Hayter was going to win. It was there to happen. And then we get into what AEW fails at, and it's the story side of it. So they had Saraya and Storm backstage. They call Hayter a loser. And then you know what? And then they say, do you know what? Begins. They get Livy Bates or Leather Bates. You remember Blue Pants? They get her over, and they go, "Oh, do you know what your name begins with?" And she goes L, and then they beat her down, and then they spray paint an L on her back.
Yeah. NWO.
Yeah. And
NW no.
Yeah. And then you haven't been able to watch Dynamite. Have you heard about the MJF story?
Vaguely.
The most horrific thing. I get trying to be saying the most ridiculous things to be a heel to get people to hate you, but this was just horrific. So basically, what it was, he was on about when he was in prom and stuff like that. He was basically trying to tell Daniel Bryan how much he can do anything he wants, and he's a bit of a dick. He was at prom, and he could get any girl he wants, and he got this one girl. And then he drove around in his Ford Mondeo. He did the blowjob sign. So she was obviously doing the business on him. And then he turned a corner, and the car span out. And instead of pressing his brake, he pressed accelerator on accident. And the car span out. He's woke up, and he's looked to his side, and the girl's head is smashed against the windscreen. And he's just getting, and then he hears police sirens. So he grabs her, puts her lifeless body in the driver's seat, and then he sits down, and he was going, "Look, Brian, I'll do anything." And it's like, that's just a grim tale. Like, I know it's wrestling, but also you've just admitted, say if you're trying to be a character, you've just admitted live on TV that you fucking, because he had 1 point left on his license, and it was just a bit, when something's a bit too dark.
He's now just admitted to a crime.
Yeah, and it was a bit too dark, and it's kind of like there's stuff getting over as a heel, and then that's just being like a cretin of a person.
It was funny. So I read bits of this during today about what he'd said, but I didn't get the full gist of it. But a lot of it was the fact that this girl was called Liv, and about 2 months ago he had a picture posted with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Which was quite weird.
Yeah, it was just I wasn't a fan. We had up next, we had Stark versus the Jazz Society in the Gauntlet match. I rate this 2.25 stars. So he beat Angelo Parker, I think it was, first.
Yeah.
I need to cough. No, it's gone. He beat Angelo Parker first, and then Matt Menard came in. He rolled him up straight away. Then he had a match with Daniel Garcia. And then they were outside, and a guy in a mask in the crowd does a Judas effect on what's his face, Starks. Surprisingly, Bryce Renswork is being distracted by Guevara in the ring because instead of counting him out, he's gone to the other side of the ring to speak to Guevara, who's standing there. And then Garcia picks up the win.
Yeah.
What was the point of this gauntlet match?
So why have a gauntlet if he gets beaten second person?
Yeah, it was just a bit meh. And as I said, I'm not a big fan of Starks at all anyway, and it was just like, this just didn't help. We had a small promo backstage where Billy Gunn was saying he's going to stay out back for the tag team title match, which is the main event somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you've got like the matches we'll discuss in a bit, and you've got that as the main event. Danielson's checking on Takeshita with Renee Paquette backstage, and then all you hear is "Shut up, Puero" or something like that, and the locker room door gets locked. And then, like, Daniel Bryan's like, "What's going on?" And he hears Rush's music goes off, and he's like, "Oh crap! They're trying to do the good old count me out kind of scenario, so he can't win." And then MJF, so Rush comes down, and MJF music hits, and he says something like obligatorily horrible to Aubrey Edwards, and he says you need to count. And she's counting one, and then there's like 50 seconds between, because obviously she wants Daniel Bryan to come down. Like, it's not her being like a bad ref, it's just her winding up MJF, and MJF's going quicker. Daniel Bryan absolutely fucking rams this door open. There was two people waiting outside the door. I think it's some generic firm wrestlers. But Takeshita kind of saves Bryan, just wipes out these two guys. Bryan runs down to the ring, and Audrey Edwards is only at 6 at this point. And Daniel Bryan's been locked in for about 4 minutes. And then we had Rush versus Bryan. I rate this 4 1/4 stars. It was just an insane match. Rush absolutely obliterated him. I don't know if you've seen some of Rush's matches where at the start of the match he basically just rams them around every guardrail known to man. Bryan's busted open, absolutely battering each other, like going for it completely. Eventually, Bryan picks up the win after hitting like a second Psycho knee. And then MJF comes out again because MJF's just on this show a lot. And he diamond rings the back of him and knocks him out. So, yeah. The AEW pay-per-view is March 19th or something like that. It's something ridiculous. It's like halfway from March.
Over a month.
Got over a month. And now we've got the main event. For and it's going to be. I don't know I don't know how you're going to drag it out for another month.
No.
And then we had the Impractical Jokers.
Yes, I saw all about this.
They've got Floyd, the Bat.
Yeah.
And Jericho needs to come on their show to get Floyd the Bat back.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I like how Jericho names his bat like Xavier Woods used to name his trumpet.
Francesca. We then had a match which was the Elite versus Top Fox. That's what I'm calling them. I rated it 3.5 stars. I was getting drained by wrestling at this point this week. Just there's a lot of like AEW's got good matches, but like it's like watching it's like watching a compilation of like the best moments wrestling wise, and then just nothing happening. Like, it was 3.5, but I'm just it's just a typical Elite match. They won the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I gotta feel bad for that. That's my description. It was good. Hathaway was backstage, Stokely Hathaway, and they were discussing Hook, and like Hook's ruined a nuisance for him, and he kept saying stuff about Hook, and then obviously Hook walked past because that's how stuff works. If you mention someone, they're definitely going to be there. He grabs Hathaway by the arm, like crooks him, and then the commentary just goes, "Stop! Don't grab him!" And then Hathaway says, "Get me medical attention."
Yeah.
Main event time: the Acclaim versus the Guns. I rated 2.5 stars. Absolutely, I didn't care. For a start, why is this the main event anyway? With all them matches, this is not a main event match. Like the Acclaimed, I would say, are over main event kind of team. The Gun Club, no one gives a crap. So the ref gets knocked out. They're about to hit Thingy with the bout. Billy Gunn comes down, and I thought because I knew the Gun Club had won before I even knew about this, but I thought Billy Gunn turned on them. That's what I thought might have happened. But no, he actually didn't. They laid him out as well. And then eventually there's a few times where the Acclaim nearly won, then the Gun Club nearly won, and then they hit him with the title caster. I think it was. No, Bowen, sorry. And the Gun Club pick up the win. And
for
then
no reason whatsoever.
For no reason whatsoever, and then there was 5 minutes of the show left.
Yeah.
They just showed their entrance and them in the ring, and then the Gun Club, the Acclaim looking dejected, and then that was the end of Dynamite.
Yeah. It's yeah. I saw that the Guns had won, and I was just like, why? Why have the Guns won? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get
So,
anything to AEW when it comes to a story.
the,
Like,
the Acclaimed were so over when they won the title. So what's happened to that?
they've been run into the ground again. Like the whole thing about, like, it's not, as I said, like we've discussed. Tag team wrestling is not a strong point of AEW at all. They're good at trios. They're good
Stories.
at 8-man. Yeah, like
Stories.
that's not a thing as well. But like the Acclaimed, in 4 years I've seen the Acclaimed. I've only seen 15 matches of theirs as a tag team. I've
Yeah.
watched every Dynamite and I've only seen 15 Acclaimed tag team matches.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know what they're doing storyline wise, and like the stories are terrible. Like what they're gonna do with Daniel Bryan and Thingy for like. So what is this pay per view again? It's like Revolution, isn't it? Is it Revolution?
I think so, yeah. I think it's Revolution.
Let me have a look. AEW.
I'm pretty sure it's Revolution, actually.
Early March pay per view AEW. Here we go. So March 5th. So you've got 4 weeks, nearly, to still carry on this paper log. So what are the matches?
Yeah, you know it's going to be on TV every week, but they're not going to have a match one-on-one. So what is going to happen in between? How do you build this out?
I don't understand what's going to happen. Like, and what are the other matches for Evolution? So you're going to have Soraya and Storm versus Baker and they've got to give Hater a woman's. It's going to be a tag match. Unless they give Shida a Baker, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cargill's going to fight some No Mark.
Yeah.
Joe's going to fight Wardlow.
Yeah. Who's Moxley going to fight? He's just battered Hangman, isn't he? So. Unless they do that again.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because who's Hangman going to fight?
Yeah.
And then there's like Cesaro's there, and he's not going to be in a match that I can think of. They're not done anything with him. You're going to have Ricky Starks,
Jericho, Ricky Starks,
probably, or it's going to be like a 6-man tag somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the Revolution. They need to sort of like. I don't know what's going on.
No.
There's only
the card's not looking great. The Bucks and Omega might defend their trios.
Against who?
Yeah, no, they're not building anyone, are they? So.
Oh, it's started yet, but yeah, that's the end of AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm glad that we do Dynamite last, because when it comes to the storytelling and you're trying to work out what they're going to do, it's very difficult to see. Whereas when we were talking on Raw, different ways around things, we talked different things in that we could do. So, I mean, if we can do that with WWE and we can't do it with AEW, that says a lot about AEW and the way it's booked. Because it's just a mishmash of everything. And I get that people prefer the wrestling on AEW, which the matches are great.
Oh, no, the matches are better. It's just that you need a story.
Yeah, you're just wrestling for wrestling's sake.
Otherwise,
that's
what I get from
AEW.
Yeah, you might as well watch a YouTube compilation of best matches if you're going to...
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm glad that we finished off with that and we haven't got another show to review. So yeah, that'll bring to an end our weekly reviews. Obviously, as always, follow us at the HCW Show on Twitter. We are quite active on our Twitter when rating the DP are attending shows. They're forever tweeting what matches are on, if it was good, pictures and stuff like that when we're allowed to post pictures on there. We've got reviews coming up. DP attended Rev Pro. We've got that video in the bank. Rate's probably got something coming up very soon over the weekend.
that we reviewed.
Yeah, so we did the PWL review, so that's Sunday. So keep an eye out for that one. There's other shows and interviews coming up, stuff that is planned in. So keep your eyes out. DP's giveaway is not started yet and won't have started by the time we've put this video out. But there is another giveaway coming. So keep your eyes peeled for that one as well. And you'll get the chance to meet our very own DP at this show. Yeah, rather you than me. But yeah, thank you as always. Follow us on our socials, join the Discord, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. We'll hopefully be back on Sunday night with a a stream of us playing on Twitch with Project Zomboid, and hopefully we'll have a bit of substance this time rather than just wailing away at
someone
zombies.
just saying smash every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God, zombie! So yeah, no, we're actually going to try and progress things this time. So we've had a couple of goes at it now. We've got the buttons down. We know what we're doing. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one and jump in because we'll be doing it at a sensible time as well. So yeah, but that is all from us. So it's a bye from me.
And I've just booked Bev on Wrestler versus Sporkle.
Nice. So we've got another Wrestler versus Sporkle coming up from Ray and Bevan. So keep your eyes open for that one as well, because that'll be recorded very soon. But yeah, we'll try the outros again. So it is a bye from me.
I've just booked Bev on Wrestler. Goodbye, everybody.
See you on the next one, guys.